The ModernJeeper Show, the show about Jeeps, Jeeping, and Jeepers.
Well, hey, Modern Jeepers, another episode of the ModernJeeper Show with me, Matson from MetalCloak, and Mr. Modern Jeeper, Corey Osborne.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, Rockstar Jeep Girl, Jessy.
Hiding.
And one of our favorite Modern Jeeper volunteers and the man with all getup is Mr. Phillip Thorpe. Hey, buddy.
Hi.
You've been on a few episodes. And the guy you can't see back there, there you go. You can kind of see he's like Mr. Whiteface. He's almost like a mime. Just start miming because you look like, mime. Yes, that's Curtis. You might have seen him at the Rocky Mountain Jeep Invasion, which was incredible.
Yeah,
so
we
I
definitely
still
got
can't
a full
stop
house.
talking about it.
We have a full house this week. It's maybe the cover photo of our podcast will be the number of Jeeps out in the parking lot already. We're recording this on Tuesday, as most of our listeners know, and by Thursday, when you guys see this, we will be in registration mode for the ModernJeeper Adventure San Juans. So,
which reminds me, keep talking.
Yeah, it's again, it's super hot. I know it's super hot in Sacramento, and it's probably super hot for the majority of our listeners out there that are paying attention to us. But yeah, it's pretty cool to be here and working on Jeeps and have some helping hands. We're 90 plus degrees in Montrose, Colorado for this last week and next week. So, and I know Sacramento is like 113 degrees. So us out here in the West, we're all catching on fire, which is pretty typical. And in the East Coast, they're flooding, which is pretty typical. So yeah.
Yeah, somebody can figure out how to swap those things, like
we need
water over there, over here.
You need a big funnel in the sky.
A big funnel in the sky.
Imaginary.
Screw all the other tech. Who cares about the metaverse? Let's figure out let's get all those smart people to figure out how to transfer water across the country in a quick and efficient way.
On my way out, it rained all the way from Kentucky all the way through Indiana into St. Louis. The whole way.
You remember in World War II, there was the big gun. There was this big
I
giant.
don't remember that. You probably do.
Thanks. Well, see, I studied history. Jeez.
Oh.
So the Nazis had this big giant gun that could shoot like for several miles. And it was just a one giant, but it was massive. It could shoot several miles. So what we need is these big giant, like, I don't know, power pushers that just push the water out and like shoot it over like from state to state. And we can just keep having a daisy chain. The water gets shot to one state, picked it up
to a reservoir. Yeah, it shoots it into a reservoir, and then shoots it from the next reservoir. Yeah,
and you could just like daisy chain across, right? That makes total sense.
Totally. You guys should buy electric cars out in California because it'll never like burden the grid.
Yeah, the grid that doesn't have any power. And one of the beautiful things about Tennessee is they still have power. Yeah. Out here, no. Oh, see, let's close down all of our nuclear power plants. Let's depend on wind and solar, and then let's force everybody to have electric cars by 2035.
Genius. Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing about politicians out here. It's not going to happen on their watch, right? They can make promises now and move on later and leave the burden. Like,
it doesn't matter.
Let's build a high-speed rail that goes from no place to no place. But I got praised for it when I was governor, said Governor Brown. Doesn't have to deal with it. He doesn't have to actually build the problem. He doesn't actually have to solve it.
Right. Yeah. It once he's out of office, who cares?
Right. Yeah, he doesn't care.
I actually I saw an email this morning and it made me think of our podcast, and it kind of made me think of just the last couple of weeks, not necessarily this whole year, but the last couple of weeks, and I think what we're looking at for the remainder of the year. And it was the new guy that is in charge of SEMA. I don't know his name, but again, for our listeners, SEMA is the Specialty Equipment Manufacturing Association that does they stand up for our rights as enthusiasts that want to modify our Jeeps, right? So out in California, you want to put an air filter in your car, you can't till you get this number, and those carb numbers, like you can't pass emissions. It's a big mess. But his quote was, we are evolving to fit the times. And I think that's pretty fitting, as most manufacturers are doing right now across the country. We're all in this evolution to fit the times. And then he talked a little bit about what that meant, and it was really the evolution of the entire industry. And from manufacturing to enthusiasts to what we do off-road on trails, it's kind of a pretty appropriate statement. Like, there's an evolution taking place, and I don't know if any of us were paying attention to it, but it's here. Well, there are places we can't go now. We talked to our friend Dell Albright, who says, hey, when I used to go to Death Valley, we could go to all these other places that we can't now. When we used to manufacture parts, we did things a certain way. You guys at MetalCloak did things a certain way, and that's changing. You can no longer do those things that way.
It's
an
true.
Evolution.
It's an evolution. Well, for instance, gold zinc chromate. California has mandated a laws that actually gets rid of the chemicals that allow for you to do the chromate. So we have to figure out a different way of doing the gold with the zinc, which is, there are other processes. Of course, the companies out here responsible for that are trying to figure that out, right? And they're looking through, and there's other ways of doing it, but that's California regulation. Let's just go. Why? For no other reason than, you don't even walk into a zinc manufacturer. If you're an environmentalist, you go, oh my God, chemicals everywhere. Oh my God, it's leaking. But that isn't. Actually, it's a very clean operation because these guys want to stay in business. But it doesn't matter because they just simply go, oh, let's pass this. I feel good. Now in California, I've said this before, there's 3,000 bills, 3,000 bills introduced every year. There's no way they can pass 3,000 bills. There's no way they can even know what's in the 3,000 bills. But every one of the legislators over there, you have your between the Assembly and the Senate, have to have things. So they're allocated a certain number of bills that they're allowed to do, a certain package, so that they can go to all their constituents and to all of their donors and to all their people. And sure, we'll put that forward for you. Oh no, it didn't really make it through this year, versus all the other ones that just kind of slide through, or the big ones where we're trying to make a deal, we're trying to make a statement, or the governor's making announcements, that sort of thing. But it's just craziness. That's why California just keeps going down, down, down.
Well, it's very, I don't know. It's kind of similar to what we have going on here at the house this week. There's a lot of work on Jeeps that I don't like to do. So what we do is we bring in friends from other states and we get them to do the work. I don't want to inhale a bunch of machine dust and stuff like that. I'm old. So
I'm sorry, you're saying your shop doesn't have proper aeration?
Child labor.
Yeah. So
child labor.
We get these guys. It's cheap.
Yeah.
It's cheap.
Find
cheap? A friend, give them a little bit, give them some beer, and they'll do amazing things. I've been walking around the house just looking for stuff for them to do. It's been a great week.
Beer and pizza. Beer and pizza, best way to get anybody to do anything.
We have an amazing guy with us as well, Mr. Phillip.
We
Thorpe.
Smoked all the dead animals.
We have Chef Phillip.
We have smoked more. There's more meat in this house than has ever existed in the history of this house.
Yeah, there's a brisket.
With three guys sitting there, that's true.
Yeah.
Bologna.
Yeah, we had bologna, everything.
We smoked a bologna. I don't even know what that means. But
he liked
I don't know, but it was a hell of a breakfast.
I was asking how we got the
smoked it is the
papers
question.
around the outside. How do you get the paper around the outside of a bologna? I don't.
Oh man, this could go so far, so twisted so easily.
This has been our week.
Yeah. So what? You just like pulling stuff out of the fridge and then you started smoking, or did you actually bring stuff?
So ready for this? Phillip brought his smoker
because I haven't had
with
one
him in his Jeep on the way out. He also brought a 16-pound brisket. This smoker has been operating on the back porch of the house for 3 days. He smoked a brisket. He smoked a turkey. When I think about I smoked a turkey, that means I killed it, right? Well, no, these guys actually, it means they cooked it.
Well, see, now some of our ModernJeeper Adventure listeners they're ready for this weekend, they'll be like, okay, so where's the food?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like we got plenty.
We've got some food.
Where is it? We didn't. Coming out now.
Yeah,
Jeez.
yeah. It's
all right. So you're coming to California next, right, Phillip?
Sure. Bring me on out, buddy. I'll be there.
Nice.
So you
Nice.
guys, I talked to Mr. Scott Becker this morning, and he said you guys were like 113 degrees this weekend.
Well, today is the hottest day of the in fact, we told our guys, if they needed to leave, if it got really hot this afternoon, we'd send them home early, take a couple hours early. But yeah, today is the hottest day it's been in the cycle, in the bell curve. It was pretty hot over the weekend. It was bearable, but when the AC is running, I have 2 AC units, and when they're running hard and it's keeping it at maybe 78, right? And I got it turned down to 72. It's hard because it's 9,500 or something. Right. Well, by the way, this morning I was talking to our little group, and I did a little quick survey because I'm still stuck on this thing about Tennessee, right? Did a little survey with these guys. Like, where do you keep your house? Like in the middle of Sacramento, on the 120 degrees, 117 degrees, 113 degrees, 100 degrees, whatever. What do you keep your house? 74, 76, try 72, but ends up 78. And I had to explain to him how everywhere I was at in Tennessee, it was like 68.
68.
The hotel room,
My house
68.
is 68.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it just
69 is way too hot.
Yeah.
Way too hot.
Yeah.
I was
Can't
freezing
sleep
my
at
ass
69.
off in the condo at 68. Right. I mean, that was cold for me. I'm like, dang, this is like, and that was tough. That was tough.
Well, the
But,
humidity thing is definitely, we learn every time we go back east, and we've talked about this in a lot of podcasts, going to certain events in Pennsylvania, Kentucky, Tennessee. The humidity is a different deal, and what that air conditioning unit is taking all that humidity out of the air. And thank goodness, because oh my gosh,
Sweating
sweating is
Well,
you can lose a bunch of weight really fast.
and change a lot of clothes every day.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that was kind of what was fun about being out there. Is like everybody who's walking around, everybody who's talking to each other, we all stink. We're all sweating. So it's okay.
Yeah.
We're all
That's a good point. Like nobody cares.
Nobody
you just
cares.
give each other a hug, and it's like, yeah, it is what it is.
We're all doing the same. Yeah, it's like, we're all suffering the same way. Nobody's coming up dressed to the nines and be all set to go out there in Tennessee when it's 100 degrees. Or actually, what was the hottest temperature that weekend?
92.
I think we were 92 was the highest.
Actually, it was pretty cool, Matson.
It was not. It was in the 90s.
Oh yeah.
So it was in the
Last year
90s. It was just highly
miserable.
humid, right? Just the
Last
highly
Last year
humid.
was horrible.
Yeah, it wasn't bad this year.
Interesting. Yeah, it was.
This year was
You
more
say it
normal.
wasn't bad this year, and like everybody's hot and sweaty and drinking
different
down.
lot.
Yeah,
And yeah, for our listeners, I think the last podcast we did, I think I was on complete brain meltdown. Like I couldn't really think. We were still in recovery mode from what had actually happened in Pigeon Forge.
right.
but,
Well, we
I
did
think-
it. It's because we did it Monday night.
Oh
You're
yeah.
right.
Like, we didn't
that's
have
right.
time. We didn't
Yeah.
have time to recover. We just did the event, took off, did a little things on
Oh.
Sunday, and next thing you know, you guys are taking off, leaving me in my bachelor pad at the Moxie Hotel.
Yeah.
Hey, I did hear from the gal that we tried to help. She got her Jeep towed from Smoky Mountain.
Oh,
A bunch
wow.
of folks reached out to her. She sent a huge thank you on Instagram for all of her Jeep family friends. It turned out that the PCM burnt up.
Wow.
Yeah, so they lost the PCM, and it's at a dealership, and it's going to be a couple months before they can get one because they're unavailable. But yeah, kudos to them. And
So
they
what
gave us-
causes that? It just went like it seemed to be fine up until all of a sudden she just turned it off.
It's something internally. I mean, something burnt
Wow.
up on the inside of it, and of course, it was a replacement engine. And it was a 2-liter
Yeah.
turbo that she just recently replaced. It was only a week old, so it could have been something that who knows.
Yeah, interesting. Well, I'm glad. Yeah, that was disappointing that we couldn't solve the problem.
Yeah, I was hoping it was going to be something really easy and we could share with our listeners. Oh, we just did this, and this. But I knew when we started calling some of our friends that were even better mechanics that they were like scratching their heads, going, "Yeah, I don't know."
Yeah, I was in every trick in the book. I was hitting the shifter. I was hitting the dashboard, hitting the windshield. Every trick I could get to try to get it to work.
Just start hitting stuff. Yeah.
Philip's over there like, what?
Reboot.
Just start hitting
Yeah,
stuff.
reboot. Can we get it to reboot? Interesting. I
Turn it off
actually
and count
just
to
learned.
30.
I learned something on the Gladiator the other day. Of course, when we got home, the Gladiator had been sitting in the garage for about a month. The stop-start system, of course, goes into this, needs serviced. Some people say you can keep driving it and it'll eventually charge. Well, I've learned that doesn't typically happen with my Gladiator. And then others say you need to replace the small battery underneath. Yeah, I've gone down that road too. So anyways, when you separate everything out, it will get rid of the coded message. Kind of interesting, though. You hook everything back up. It takes 24 hours for some of the apps to show back up in Jeeps, at least on the Rubicon.
Really?
When you go into off-road pages and all that kind of stuff, after you've disconnected the batteries, those applications won't show up for about 24 hours.
Really?
Yeah.
I
And
didn't.
it's very, very odd to me that, okay, so I can shut it off and I'll come back out tomorrow and then all of those apps will show up. What I was trying to do was I was talking to Philip about it. When the auto stop start system shuts down, it's a smart alternator and it won't send the full current to charge that small battery back up. And you can go in and look at the actual the alternator gauge in the off-road pages, and it'll sit there at 11.2, 11.3. It'll never really show the correct voltage until you reset it all. Once you reset it all, you can go in there and it'll go back up to 14.3, 14.4, and it'll recharge that little battery. But it's kind of odd. I was going to show him the gauge. Off-road pages is not available for 24 hours.
They were gone. Like
Wow.
we messed with it for 15, 20 minutes
Oh,
trying to
yeah.
figure out what we were doing wrong. We just got to re-download it. No, it's gone.
No, it just
Gone.
goes away. It just
It goes
doesn't
Well, that's
come back.
because it's actually coming off of the servers at Jeep, so they're tracking everything.
and-
Right.
They
And the
serve it
little
up to you.
battery is what stores all the memory for the whole Jeep. So once you kill the little battery, all the memory's gone.
Mm.
Yeah, the big battery just starts the Jeep. The little battery stores all the memory.
So I'm wondering. So my Chrysler Pacifica has, and I have to check out a battery. It's starting fine, right? It's starting fine, but all the other little external things, like if you try to open a side door, it says power not available for the side door. So I'm like, well, it's starting fine. I actually wonder whether or not, because it's a 3.6 at Wells, if it has the two batteries. I don't
I
know.
bet.
I did
I
check it because
don't
it might have
know.
a starter battery, and the other it's just
It
the other one
may.
that's going bad. The other one's
Huh.
not charging up because the little things, again, it'll say, sorry, I don't have power available to automatically open your back door or your side doors. But
Interesting.
you get it in, it starts right up.
Well, I think as time goes forward, we're all finding these little error messages. Philip had a fun one the other day that said you need to clean the back glass.
No, that was me.
It's him.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, it was Curtis.
It came up in my Jeep and said clean front camera and rear window.
Clean the front camera and
I've
the
never seen
rear
that
window.
before in my life. Well,
What's
then
in
on
the
the way
rear?
out,
Where's in the rear window? They had a.
so on the
Wow.
way out, my windshield wiper, I thought it was out of windshield washer fluid. I had trying to clean the bugs off. So I go buy windshield washer fluid, hit the button before I put fluid in. Now it works fine. It just quit working for like a day. Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy.
Hey, speaking of windshield wipers, have you gotten your order yet?
Yes.
You did.
Yes. I haven't put them in yet, but I did get the order. The box was folded in half, which kind of concerned me. The box was literally mangled when I got it.
Wow.
But if you look at the wipers, so I did get. It comes with some T tubing and whatnot that goes underneath the hood,
Mhm.
and then the actual wiper blades. You know what I do like? The actual blade has the Jeep logo on the blade. It's kind of cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, and then you do get a replacement set of blades, and if you look at them, there's a water inlet on the base of the arm. So like I said, I haven't installed them yet, but they did come, and I think I paid $110 or something. Whereas that was even through Mopar's thing; they were discounted,
Like
then on
15% off
sale
or
and-
something. Yeah.
yeah, some crazy thing. Well, last time I had the blades replaced, I think by the dealership in a hurry. I think the blades, just a set of blades, was $50. So
Yeah.
this is a pretty good deal for two sets of blades.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go down and get the Rain-X blades, right? I kind of like
Yeah.
those Rain-X blades. Get those, and
Yeah.
that's that's a single blade's $20-$30 for, for a set, or it's
Yep.
well, it's $60 for a set, whatever. So that's a good deal. for these things.
Apparently, I need to go drive around in some mud now, so that which isn't going to happen if I can help it. But
some dust.
Get a bucket.
It's so
Yeah.
muddy here.
We'll get a bucket and just splash it on the
There's
windshield.
so much water.
yeah, we should do
Well,
a little.
Actually, I want to see.
video
No,
of throwing
what
some
I
mud
want
on
to
the
see you do it. I
Those
want
are
to see a video of it happening when you're driving through Death Valley and getting all that dust on the window. That's what it's supposed to be able.
Oh,
It
and it's supposed
just
to help you.
totally cleans it.
That
instead of
doesn't
just
work
spraying.
because he's always leading, so he doesn't get the
Yeah,
dust.
I don't know what you're talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah,
I have followed him.
that's
It's
why you
pretty
want to be a
bad.
leader. That's why. Jeez.
Maybe. Okay, so I'm going to go conspiracy theory.
Uh-oh.
One of the manufacturers at Jeep or one of the engineers probably holds stock in windshield washer fluid. This is just a ploy
That's-
to get us to
that's-
buy more fluid.
to use more fluid. See, now you need a
Yeah.
recirculating
Fluid
system.
cells are down.
You need a recirculating system that
Yeah,
captures
correct.
the
Stimulus
fluid
this.
as it comes off the windshield,
A
recycles
recycled
it, cleans
system.
it, and sends it back up.
Ah.
Otherwise, we're actually that's really wasteful. All that
You
windshield.
should have
wipe fluid
probably
going
never
into the
said that
environment.
because you know that there's going to be somebody's going, oh, wait, we could do that.
Yeah, good. Go. More power to you.
Yeah.
Not something I'm going to make. Recycled. Yeah, it'd be funny.
Recycled windshield washer fluid.
Fluid comes in, goes through a filter,
It's
sucks it
crap.
up.
You need a spill kit for that.
Okay.
I'm sorry, sir. You're not allowed to use your windshield wipers on the trail.
No.
Yeah, no, you're going to make a mess.
Spit on
Yeah,
the
or
windshield
what
like
you
the
really
rest
need
of
is that
us.
you need the little wind flaps on the edge of your windows, so when you do
Shut
your
up,
spray, it doesn't go over, and the guy in the BMW doesn't come up and try to shoot you.
Aren't those light bars?
Light bars fix everything.
Light bars fix-
with some, and the new ARS product coming soon is a little rain or a windshield washer dam
Mm,
that doesn't
Catches.
shoot windshield washer fluid over the top of your cab.
I like it. I like it. Now, what we really need to do is make sure that when your windshield wiper comes up, you need to drill an extra hole so it targets specifically where your little camera is.
Oh, the camera in the middle.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
So it just targets that. So make sure that that's always clean.
Hmm.
Feel
when
those
mine
old
gets dirty, I
Mercedes
get
have,
that- I get
windshield
that-
wipers on their lights.
On the headlight.
They don't have one right
Oh.
on the camera.
It's
No,
kind of like
God.
the glasses I used to have
Yeah.
back in the 80s that had the windshield
Yeah.
wipers on them.
Yeah, a little
We need
windshield
that.
wipers on.
That was the
Yeah.
goofiest.
This should happen.
That's the goofiest thing I ever heard.
You sell pit bulls, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
A shout out, since we're talking about the whole sensor in the middle of the windshield, a shout out to our friends. Again, we've mentioned these guys in the past. My local sign shop and graphic shop are the ones who did the graphics on the MetalCloak truck, the tow rig that we pull around the country. They did the graphics on the Gladiator. They've done the graphics on our windshields now. They're working on some stuff for Curtis while
And
he's here
For my
and
tent.
for Jessy.
Yeah.
These guys, we were down there over the weekend, and it's a weekend, and it's a mom and pop shop. Mike and Angel at Montrose Signs in Montrose, Colorado. They actually have they're so behind, and they will take the time out of their day to help us out. And it's, dude, I don't even know what to say. It was Labor Day weekend, and they were down there the entire 3 days trying to get caught up. They actually are wrapping a Corvette custom C8 down in Arizona. They're taking wraps with them
Mm.
and driving down there and going to wrap a C8 and then come back up and take care of everybody here locally. But a huge shout out to them because it's pretty rare. The mom and shop businesses don't get as much love, I don't feel like. Yeah, we can order some stickers and whatnot through Jeep and through Mopar's other site of what they're doing. But for have somebody to do custom design work and apply it and get it done the same day
And treat you like family.
and
That's
treat you
fine.
like you're
God
just
dang.
part of their world. Yeah.
And we
That's
went
awesome.
this morning, and I had an idea for what I wanted to do on top of my tent. And by the time we get there and we start playing some dot, we come up with something totally different. And she's like, "Well, how long are you going to be here?" And I told her, and she said, "I'll make it happen."
Wow.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
you can't beat that.
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
Pretty
It's amazing
pretty rare.
customer
It's
service.
amazing.
So, well, that's awesome because I have a solution. Like, what we should do is just take the CTI trailer down there and have them wrap it.
That's not a bad idea.
We'll have a peel
Just
party.
screw the Line-X, just wrap it.
Right?
I
Just
didn't say it.
we'll just wrap it.
I didn't
and
say it
call
either, but
good.
it might be better than the previous.
Yeah, just screw the. I'm sorry, I
material.
love my friends over at Line-X, but screw that Line-X. Wrap the damn thing.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah. It's
Speaking of which, oh yeah, That's what I'm going to show earlier because this is for you guys that are doing your little trip here. It's got-
Oh yeah, look at that.
Oh, they made it.
Oh, they look
Very
great.
nice.
They
yeah,
look
very
great.
nice. So it's for the shirts for those of you that are just listening and wondering what the heck we're just saying. These are the shirts for the every Modern Jeeper Adventure gets its own custom shirt for that trip. And just like actually, hey, Curtis is wearing one right now.
Oh,
And
yeah,
that is
he is.
for that was the
Tillamook.
Tillamook trip. Yes,
Yep.
Tillamook trip. So
I approve.
this one is front only. It's just a it doesn't have the back design, but I think we kind of did something a little different on it to try to make it work, and of course, little different colors and stuff like that to try to play with it.
Yeah, so our next upcoming trip hopefully is going to be Death Valley, and I know a lot of people have sent me a lot of emails going, "Hey, Death Valley's gone and everything's closed." And if you've not been a fan or have followed Death Valley, there's a YouTuber by the name of Brent. He is the guy who bought Cerro Gordo, which is a huge part of our Death Valley world. He has a YouTube channel, Living in My Own Ghost Town, I believe is the name of the YouTube channel.
Or
He's
I bought
just
it.
released.
I bought a ghost town or something.
Yeah. But he's released a couple of videos in the last just couple weeks of some of the flooding that has taken place and some of his setbacks that he's experienced and the folks that have reached out to him to support him. What an amazing guy! What an amazing place! And yeah, Death Valley. A lot of the roads there were closed for a couple of weeks. In fact, Brent's road up to Cerro Gordo was closed, and the county told him, 10 weeks till they could get heavy equipment out. They actually only took a couple of weeks, and they brought some heavy equipment out. He actually rented an excavator and a grader or actually a backhoe, and was trying to do a lot of it himself, which I think he got done. But the county did go up there and fix his road. Death Valley suffered what they call is a 1,000-year flood. So,
wow.
Yeah, a lot of the park was closed, and I'm hoping by our adventure, of course, things are reopened. And you know what? If not, there's a ton of park out there. We'll just avoid the sections that are washed out, and of course, we would not want to disrupt what they have going on in the park. But yeah, that'll be our next adventure. So if you're interested in a Death Valley T-shirt, well, you're going to have to sign up for the event.
Sign up for the event just to get the T-shirt.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. That's it. Show you were there. By the way, speaking of which, I mean, registration is open, and there looks like right now there's 4 spots left for trip 2 and 5 spots left for trip 1. Looks like, or you can do both back to back and get a special deal.
I've done that
because some people want to do it because every trip is different.
Yeah, Philip did both trips last year, 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
No, it wasn't.
No, it was last year.
It was last year.
No,
but
I did last year.
He did. No, you did.
I did last year.
I did spring.
Okay, yeah, I did fall.
But I'm gonna tell you right now, guys, if you haven't signed up for it and you're thinking about it, it's a life-changing deal because you think that everything's so important, and then you get out here on this trip. There's really nothing important in life at all. You're the most important thing, and you reconnect with yourself, and it's changed how I view things every day.
Well, I think for me,
that's a really narcissistic point of view.
I think for me
for me
going in, everybody thinks Death Valley's just flat as heck. It's 250 feet below sea level to over 12,000 feet above sea level.
Exactly.
And I don't think anybody understands that. There's one day we're watching the jet fighters do their dogfights overhead. The next day we're looking down, watching them do them from above. Wow. It's just amazing.
Well, it is beautiful. Especially it's that every trip is different. You have no idea what Mr. Osborne, Mr. Modern Jeeper has in his sleeve when he's trying to put something together. But talk about this upcoming trip here, like the San Juans. Are you guys doing the same you did last year? A little different? What's your plan?
Always different. So, we over the years we've kind of these trips, just like everything, have evolved. What we used to do was kind of a slow intro to the San Juans. These aren't the extreme trips. If you're looking for an extreme wheeling event in Montrose has some great rock crawling trails. This is not that trip. These trips are much more about the history of the Array area, the mining claims, the mining history of this San Juan Triangle, as they call it. it's still a busy, these last couple of years have been super busy in the San Juans for everybody that's been traveling. And well, I'm curious to see, this is after Labor Day weekend, just the weekend after Labor Day weekend. So hopefully there won't be a whole bunch of folks, but there's always an event going on. So we try to knock out a number of the badge trails because I know that's what people want and what they desire. And of course, my goal, I'll take you anywhere you want in the San Juans. My goal is to have people coming away with a sense of, wow, not so much even for the scenery, but the history behind it all and why these roads even exist. So yeah, we've had a bunch of folks here. I'm actually in the middle of my notes, and
Wow.
have kind of revisited some of the things that have taken place in the San Juans over the years. And yeah, I hope people enjoy it. I think that we have a couple of return folks that enjoy Colorado, and some folks that have never wheeled up in the San Juans. So it's a great time of year. It's been weird. It's so hot. Typically by now the leaves are starting to change a little bit, but it's still summer.
Mhm.
We're still really in summertime. So I think it's going to be a couple more weeks before the trees start to change, but we're gonna show them the best we can, and be a couple of really long days this year if my plans hold up. We're talking 12-hour days of wheeling in the San Juans, just so I can fit in as much as we possibly can to show folks that there's. This trip needs to be about 4 days or even 5, because people want to see all of it, and you really can't do it in a couple. So I try to do the highlight reel, right, and take folks to.
Well, maybe
to the
you should.
things
Maybe
that-
it should expand it into a 5-day trip.
I see it XL in our future. Let's do it.
No, I said we should do a rock crawling one too.
Yeah.
Ooh, the
San Juan's
extreme.
and a rock crawling trail.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
know, I had-
The
that's
extreme version.
37s
Extreme.
are big.
Well, the
Modern
problem-
Jeeper does
the-
extreme.
always the challenge with that is, hey, Corey, not only are you a guide, but you
Well,
are now a.
I'm going to
You're-
shout out
you're
to
the
Chris
repair guy.
Durham now. So Chris Durham, you can come and be our mechanic because you're awesome.
Not the.
You know, I had so many people ask me after my Death Valley trip. They're like, well, you just went out and rode around in the desert. You didn't have. And I'm like, no, you don't have a clue. Everybody's got radios. We know Corey's telling us what we're looking at, the history behind it. It's so much more than just going out and wheeling in the desert and in the mountains. It's a history lesson. It's amazing. This is the second time I came all the way across the country to do it. I just think it's awesome.
Well, it's truly Rocklander too, because that's what
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
going out there,
Agreed.
actually doing a little bit of rock crawling. You still got to have a Jeep, capable Jeep. Bronco's not allowed.
We're Toyotas.
All of our instructions for MetalCloak are on the Modern Jeeper forum. That's where we post them for Adventure Rack Systems as well.
Oh.
So I got to see, it's interesting when somebody who buys Toyota arms from us clicks on instructions and ends up at the Modern Jeeper forum to download his Toyota arms instructions.
Never thought about that.
And his Bronco instructions and the Ram instructions are all in the Modern Jeeper forum. Just got to give them a little bit of a rub.
Well, and a shout out to our listeners again. And the reason that I started off with the whole this is an evolution of the industry is I've had a number of conversations in the last 2 weeks where I've learned of people that I've dealt with for many, many years and have been icons in the industry, have changed roles, either moved on to something better or their company has decided to go a different direction. And a shout out to those guys because it's happening a lot, and there's a lot of movement right now in the industry. I think it'll be interesting as we go into the month of when SEMA and Off-Road Expo down in Pomona take place, where these are huge, huge events. And I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of different faces, a lot of different people that we may or may not know. They may not know who we are, and it's an opportunity. But for the folks that have gone a different direction, my comment last week was, when a door closes, another one opens. So there's opportunity out there in the industry. So I hope folks aren't going, oh man, this is what I've done for 15 years. don't get discouraged, because companies are always looking for good help, and there's people out there with a ton of experience, and I think they're kind of like they're hurt right now. They're like, what am I going to do now? There's a
Right.
ton of opportunity out there, so yeah, hold on.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, is there's a lot of opportunities, a lot of changes going on right now. And we're just fortunate that we have great customers, great people, and good
Yes,
friends
that's right.
Yes.
all joining us out here right now. And everybody's gainfully employed, right?
Yep.
All right, good. That's a good
Wait.
thing.
Wait, am I going to start getting a check?
Oh,
What?
there's checks.
No,
Check.
no.
Whoa, checks. Let's talk
Wait.
about checks.
We just give you free parts. That's all. I mean,
Right. This is
Hey, I'll even talk about that. Yeah. Yeah. Let's talk.
Let's talk
I
more.
was going to say, when I got my
I like where this is going.
when I got my adventure rack system, there weren't even instructions. I had to figure it out as I went along. Yeah.
well, you're the one who kept saying, "Can I get it? Can I get it? Can I get it? Can I get it? Can I get it?
Oh, no.
Can I get it, please? Can I get it?"
So Gary, when you're going through this,
That means cut.
No, you got to
We
be
gotta
again.
cut
That's
bolts.
the fun part. That's the fun.
All right.
Yeah, you got to cut bolts on a new Jeep. What's up with that?
Note to the editor of the show: you can cut out that last section.
That's the funnest part.
you know, we are truly in an industry that the evolution of it all is amazing, and the groups of people we meet in places like Tennessee that show what Justin does out there. We talked about this last week a little bit. It's an amazing event. Where do you grow from huge? Jeep Beach. Where do you
Huger?
grow from huge? When
But you
something
don't.
is you don't, and
You don't.
now
You go the opposite
Maintaining
direction. You start
roots.
doing things like get mad
You're
at
right.
people for using
Maintaining.
your name on their clothes, on their shirt, and then it starts falling apart.
right.
Well,
It's-
and even so, me and Phil were talking about this last night. Was with Corey. I met Corey at Jeep Invasion about 6 years ago. Well, Corey didn't have I was like, you need it. We met. We made quick friends. Hey, do you need any help? No, I got it. There wasn't a whole lot going on. Then it evolved to, well, I'm busy. We pass out these clipboards. Then Jessy came on board. She's filling out the clipboards. I'm just hanging out, talking to people and that crap I didn't know about. But that's how that whole program evolved.
You're pretty good.
Well,
at
then,
that.
then I
pretty good at
well,
his
then I had to
job,
learn.
This guy's the best.
I had to learn about the products I was talking about because all of a sudden that's what I had to do when I was there. So, and that's just how much it's grown in the 5 years that I've known Corey.
Right.
And it's just crazy how that whole thing just happened. It wasn't
Mhm.
planned. It just happened, and it is what it is.
And we forgot
Well,
something that I really and truly am kind of upset about.
Uh-oh.
We didn't take our group picture, our annual
Oh, we didn't
group
take a group picture.
We've done that for the last 3 or 4 years now.
Wow.
Yeah, we always take a
That's
group
sad.
picture, and we didn't do it.
Sad.
Well, other than Will, it doesn't really matter. You guys got a group
we
photo
can
right here.
take selfies and you
This
can
is
Photoshop
this is the
us all
core.
in.
This is the core team right there.
Yeah.
I mean, I felt a little embarrassed every time somebody came up and said, "Hey, oh man, I've been coming back 3 different times. I finally got you. I want to take a selfie. I want to talk to you." I'm like yeah, I'm
Did
not
they
the
all go,
hardworking
hey,
guy
where's
around
John
here.
slanting at?
Yeah. Hey,
Where's
where's
John?
John at?
John.
Where's
Came out to talk to
John? He's the best.
Dad.
I did have a guy come to me and say, "Hey, my wife said if I don't get a picture with Matson, I can't come home."
I heard that.
He told me that.
He's still wandering around.
Yeah, he's still in Tennessee.
He's gone.
Because you weren't there on Thursday.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is your fault.
So
It's all on you.
You
It's all
hold
on
the
you.
record.
oh, that's a poor guy. Well, I do offer. I've always offered since the day we opened our doors. We offer marital counseling services. If you need to, it's just give me a call. Happy to help you with that. Figuring out how to explain to your wife that this mini built part for 300 is a lot different than the MetalCloak part for 1,000.
Yep.
That's my job.
That's my job.
Just one day at a time.
So you got a great trip coming up. That's awesome. Once again, jealous because I'm stuck here. I was going to talk a little bit about Death Valley because I was just thinking about bringing Jack to Death Valley.
Oh,
on it.
absolutely.
Should.
Now,
Yeah.
the
What's the
thing is, we put
excuse?
on there because I was actually looking at our rules, and some of the other trips we have very, very specific. We don't want children on because it becomes a distraction or a challenge. But the Death Valley one is recommended. It does say we specifically use the word recommended because you don't again want to be chasing after kids and stuff. But I think I might, if I come out, and bring Jack and
Sure.
and
Yep.
do it.
100% agree.
He'd
I'm-
love
I'm-
it. He'd love it.
Yeah, just bring it out and just because the two of them together, Jack and Josh together. I'm sorry, nobody can
Yeah.
handle the dynamics of those two together.
You can just put one of them in the Gladiator with us.
We'll just lock the
Well,
doors.
I just figure that enough of them, they could just be out there, and it's like you can't really get that lost. We just put
Yeah,
a little
right.
Yeah.
put a little
I mean,
beacon.
where's he gonna
put a little
go?
beacon on them.
Yeah, some kind of a flashing light at night or something like that.
Yeah,
Put a
yeah.
leash. You need
Yeah,
a leash.
leash.
Yeah, the leash is the way to go.
Shot collars, leashes.
Oh,
I can do
yeah.
it. You can do like the
Shot
can you do like the
Some of them
350
do.
foot leash so they can just kind of walk around, but they come back.
Well, if he
Retractable?
goes off the edge of a mine, you just pull him back up. It'll be
Yeah.
You give him like two
Fishing pole.
here
Yes.
jacks, and then just like
I hear the saline salt springs can be a little sketchy sometimes.
So if we go to Death Valley, does that mean we go to the hot tubs then?
Oh,
Oh, that's what I just talked
well, there's
about.
naked
That-
kids.
that- yeah.
for-
Yeah.
I don't. We can't go to the hot tubs.
It's going south. It's going south, man.
It's going,
Here we
yeah.
go.
We need to. We need to.
But I
we
might
need
just
to
do
go
that
on
'cause-
an up trajectory.
While you guys are out starting the San Juans, Thursday's my birthday, so I'm going. Becker and I
Happy
are going
birthday.
on. Thank you.
Happy
Actually,
birthday.
when everybody's going to see this, it's actually Matson's birthday today.
That's
So-
right. That's right. This will go live on my birthday. So,
So
Yes.
we're going to do a live video of
Should we
seeing
sing
all
Happy
of our
Birthday?
participants sing you happy birthday.
oh,
Absolutely.
gee, thank
Yes.
you. But Becker and I are going to go to the Rubicon. So
Oh, cool.
Sweet.
we talked before about the Rubicon Trail Foundation property, and I talked about it this morning. So we're going to go in. I'm actually going to take the Gladiator in. I was a little sketchy about doing that because it can be a little bit of a but we're not going that far in. We're just going to just past the slabs.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
So just past the Indian slabs is the entrance to the
Mhm.
Rubicon Trail Foundation property.
Gladiator
We're
will
gonna
be fun.
Yeah.
we're going to go in there and scout it out because we need to look for the Rubicon Trail Foundation. For our listeners, of course, is the organization whose mission is to guarantee that the Rubicon Trail is there for generations to come. When you guys show up and say, "Oh, cool, I'm going to run the real Rubicon Trail," you kind of take it for granted that the trail is
Mhm.
there. And there have been many times we've talked about on this podcast before where the Rubicon Trail was threatened to be closed and never be seen again. But thanks to the Rubicon Trail Foundation and the Friends of the Rubicon, it has survived, and it is still there. And if it continues to go properly, you should be able to do it. Your kids and your grandkids should all be able to go out and wheel. But they have a property out there, private property they bought, which is right near the springs. And what they did about a 4.5 mile loop inside that property. And
Oh,
so
right.
it's totally different terrain. It's kind of cool. You get to go and play, and you can go. It's open to anybody. You can go in there and wheel that.
You can't see it, but it's on that map back there behind Matson.
Is it over there?
It's right.
So
over
the
there. Yeah.
the
Right
the
over
metal
there.
cloak
It's over here.
the
It's
metal
right
cloak trail
here.
is right about
Oh, right there.
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 Right
yeah.
there. Right on that shoulder.
So if we were in our living room, that map exists in the living room, and I'll show you guys where that's
Yeah,
at.
where it is. So
We'll
it's
wrap
the
this up.
posters, which actually have some Rubicon Trail posters being made. So we got 500 of them being made. We're going to be doing some giveaways and some also selling them. But I did get a chance to put the Metal Cloak Trail on that. But the entrance to the Rubicon Trail Foundation property has a single trail that goes up into the loop. That is now known as the Metal Cloak Trail. Like they came to us with it. We didn't sponsor it, buy it, or anything. They just said, "Hey, we appreciate all the help that you guys have given us over the years. So we want to do this, dedicate this trail in your honor." So one of the things we're doing is going down there to see where the sign's going to go, how big of a sign we need to make and put it there. Big giant, 5 foot by 5 foot gold sign, that says Metal Cloak Trail here, with big flashing neon lights, something like that.
Bigger is always better.
That is
At least 4 light bars.
4 light bars. Yeah.
Four
Four light bars wide.
Yeah.
Yep, that'll fix it.
I can't tell our listeners how amazing that is and how important that is. I mean, I know that we have some listeners out there that are like, "Hey, wait a minute. I just sent you an email about how come we aren't going to do a Rubicon Trail event this year." And I got to tell you guys, that from my perspective, I'm sorry that it has been such a crazy year. And I know Matson and I, and even Scott Becker, wish that we could put something like this together for our ModernJeeper Adventure. But I just don't know if it's going to happen. And we're going to get into the season so fast that it's going to start to snow there.
Right.
So
And the reality is the trails that we've done and the trips we've done on the Rubicon ModernJeeper vendors have been signature events. They're not just the throw together little event. We could I mean, we could easily just throw together an event, bring your own food. We're going to go out there, just do it, and we'll guide you in for, and that would be fine.
Not
And
what we
many of
do.
you probably would think it would be awesome to go in and do that. It's not what we've ever wanted that event to be. So we're not willing to kind of go down to that. We have to solve a couple logistical problems and, also work with the fact that we have challenges now with the Tahoe National Forest and the rules that they've imposed for companies or organizations or organized trips. So until we overcome those, we don't want to just do a half-ass event.
That's right.
And if you're ever in the region, though, you're always happy to come on by and say, hey, anybody want to go wheeling with us? And,
Yeah, and I just got an email from our friend Artemio who was like, hey, I want to come out. I want to do the Rubicon, and I'm waiting for you guys. And I haven't emailed him back yet, but if he's listening, and for all the others out there that are like, so they've been kind of hesitant and waiting, just if you want to go out there, there are some great folks that I guarantee will run the trail with you guys. It may not be one of our signature events or one of our events, but there are people in the Sacramento area. A lot of Jeep clubs and stuff go out there all the time. So reach out. If you want to send me an email, I'll do my best to maybe put you in touch with somebody who can help logistically with who should go out there with you. But probably not going to have it as a Modern Jeeper event this year. Hopefully next year that changes. Again, it's an evolution. This is an evolutionary year.
Those are big words.
Yeah.
Big and
That one had like 3 or 4 syllables.
That's long, Brian.
What's the definition?
Real narrow, but long.
this dumb be them evolutionary things.
This evolutionary thing.
11-7.
So yeah.
Yeah. So I think there's going to be a lot of other trips. We've had the opportunity when we were out in West Virginia. Part of the reason that we were out in West Virginia is to work with the powers to be land use wise. And we now have support for an event in West Virginia. Yep. So
absolutely.
Again,
Woo, come to my hometown.
Yeah, this is an evolution, and hopefully we're able to bring in more people to the industry that don't get to go wheeling all the time and can see kind of the other side of life. Y'all want to get in your Jeeps and go use them? Well, we're going to provide you with that opportunity.
Well, East Coast ModernJeeper Adventure?
Yeah, imagine that.
Yeah, it's about time.
And it was cool that Corey did his West Virginia trip. Everything they did was within 50 miles of where I live, where I grew up. They went to see everything that I got to see as I was a kid and as I grew up in life. And it was just amazing. It was just so cool that they got to see that.
Wow.
It's
awesome.
an amazing place. It really is.
It really is. You talk about simple life.
Yeah.
Going back to being simple and stress-free, that place. West Virginia is that place.
Yep. West Virginia, Tennessee.
Yeah.
What was that
simple.
word? Stress
Georgia,
free?
the South.
Simple.
Is
Slayback, sweet tea.
Well, stress is free.
Barbecue.
You don't have to pay for stress.
No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't have to pay for stress.
I get plenty of it. I could give it to you for free all the time.
I'm going to stop buying stuff because sometimes I get more stressed after it arrives.
It happens.
Oh my God.
Sounds like a Tuesday.
Yeah. So the main event has been the salt gun. If any hasn't told you.
Yes.
So
It's
we've
Murderer's
been sitting
Row
outside
and-
relaxing, okay, and the flies have been
Dumb. Bad
So
year
who brought
for
the salt
flies.
gun?
so bad.
Salt guns.
Salt gun.
We
turned
Salt
into
gun, nice.
We've
5 years
killed
old.
thousands. Now we got a salt gun, and you talk about some grown men turning into 5-year-olds.
We have a
with
fly
salt
grade.
gun.
We
I'm
have a
5
fly
and a half.
graveyard. Yeah.
So I got an old school one that I had when I was a
You can
kid,
have
and I went and
that.
bought it
I
the other
want
day
that.
because I bought it the other day just because it was fun. But when I was a kid in Wairika, I bought one of these, and it was the little gun that just has the little fly swatter pad that shoots out, right?
Oh,
And
yeah.
so
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It shoots, but it's just a pad that goes and hits them.
Hey,
Not as good as
son, we
not
got
as good as a
double
salt
barrel.
gun.
He has a double barrel
Yeah.
salt gun.
You pull it real fast and we get 2 shots.
So I had
Nice.
to go shopping last night and pick stuff up for dinner and stuff like that.
Which included a
And
lot
they're
of
like,
salt.
"Well, pick up this salt gun." Well, I'm like, well, send me a text, tell me everything I need to get. Well, they didn't text me about the salt gun, so I didn't get. They're like, "I can't believe you didn't get the salt gun."
It hurt his
Yeah.
feelings last night.
So I had to go first thing this morning and buy one.
We
Yeah.
have had so
Yeah.
much fun in the 2 hours we
Yeah.
got home after it got here.
Yeah.
Oh man, we shot the living
It's
snot
better
out
than
of
that
flies.
fly trap I bought for my backyard when I first moved to our current house. And it was a nice little fly trap, right? And you go in there and the flies go in and they die. and then more flies go in there, and then more flies go in there, and more flies, and it smells so much like death that it literally is like, this fly trap works
100%.
really
Yeah.
well, except it works really well because it's bringing all the friggin' flies to your back.
Yeah, now it's an attractant. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, what brings all the flies to the yard? Well, it's not your milkshakes.
Yeah. Well, and we
It's
actually,
liquid death.
yeah, we actually hung one of those today, so we're getting ready to find out.
My milkshake's bringing all the flies to the yard.
Well, this was my gift today. This is what came in the mail for me, and I'm really, really excited about it. For our listeners that don't know what this is, well, that's weird because it's a seatbelt. It's the female end of a seatbelt.
For the passenger side.
For the passenger side.
Yeah, because he was locking me in that Jeep and I couldn't
No,
get
it's
out
not
of that
just
seatbelt.
you.
Oh,
I
it wasn't
experienced
working.
this at
Yeah.
Roush.
Yeah.
I had no seatbelt.
You bought one new?
So-
You didn't go down
I
there
have
and pick
no
a bull
idea
and
what they're
grab one?
talking about.
Well, so I didn't. I'm like, you guys are dumb. You can't operate a seatbelt. Like, what's the problem?
I'm from Arkansas, no.
And the press the button to release thing would not
Stopped.
It
release.
died.
And literally, I was like, wow, you're gonna have to like live in the Jeep, which would have been weird.
Or
Yeah.
died.
Or die.
So it turns out that button can fail and gets all jammed up in there. But eBay, $15.
And fix it.
Wow,
Yeah.
bought something on eBay. That's just kind of rare
I-
these days.
Hey, tech tip of the week: fix your seatbelts.
Fix your seatbelts, maintain your seatbelts. And it was kind of funny because everybody was like, well, no, I'll just ride with you. And me being me, I'm like, I'm sorry. They're like, why? My seatbelt doesn't work. They're like, oh, it's okay. No,
No.
that's not okay.
No.
Not in the Colorado highlands of shelf
That's
roads and
scary.
stuff.
It's
No.
terrifying.
Yeah, gotta have a seatbelt. So
Well, why do you? And you're cool. What was this in the LJ?
the LJ.
Why the hell you still got seatbelts? Don't you have a 5-point harness?
No, he still has the.
I'm stubborn.
Well, that's
Yeah.
complicated.
I'm old. So if I put in 5-point harnesses, that means
a
I'm
loss.
going to go do crazier stuff.
I've been with
So-
you. We did crazy stuff,
Yes.
in
Yeah.
Roush.
but we survived.
Oh no.
I told him we
Corey
better
does
do
is-
crazy
isn't
stuff.
crazy.
I drove a long way to get here. Yeah, yeah.
Cor-
We
Cor-
need to do all the
Oh,
crazy
you're
stuff.
going to be doing crazy
Yes.
stuff off the side
Scare
of the
the
mountain.
crap
That's
out
all
of
right.
me.
In
I'm
Rockstar.
ready. Yes,
Yeah, you got a crew there.
Yep.
Yes.
surely not.
We're here.
Are you letting them sleep inside the house or out in the shop?
Well, we had to
No.
kick him outside.
We slept in the house today.
They
No.
slept in
Last
this.
night.
They
Last
slept in the
night.
house.
There's an air conditioner in here. I'm all about it.
Oh, speaking of which,
I
what's
don't
your
have
air
air
conditioner
conditioning. I
set
had a
to?
fan.
What is it set to right now?
What?
What's your air conditioner set to?
In his, well, it's one of
We
those
don't.
little window units in his bedroom.
I just
We
set
don't
to the
have
lowest temperature on
we have
high.
a swamp
Yeah.
cooler. It's
Yeah,
where
yeah.
out west.
I slept great.
Yeah, I had a fan. Philip was like, "Hey, you want my
Philip
fan?"
didn't
He
share.
didn't even get fan out of his mouth. I said, "Yes, give it to me. Give it to me."
So you want to?
He didn't even have fan out of his mouth. He just kept yelling, "Give it to me."
I don't know what that's all. I don't know what to say about that.
And with that, that's another week of the ModernJeeper
yeah.
show. See you next Tuesday.
But I disagree. I think the tech tip of the week should be, Jeep, please don't put 10.9 bolts in brackets that have no business being on a freaking Jeep to start with.
So-
Yeah.
Please. Please.
Yeah, we've had a lot of
Off my
Jeep
new
modifications
Yeah,
on
it's-
Jessy's new Jeep.
Yeah.
Fixing stuff with Gladiator, with the LJ, with everybody. We're all it's a Jeep work party apparently this last few days.
More's
But
coming.
But we did good.
there's a bracket
Yeah.
on the
I didn't know
the
if I was
JLs on the front passenger side, and I don't even know what the purpose of the bracket is for, but it hangs below the frame rail. There's nothing attached to it. It's just a bracket.
That's
And-
10.9 bolts.
And it's got 5 metric, which is equivalent of a little bit higher grade than a grade 8 bolt.
I don't even know how they
it's-
they had
it's
to
the-
put it
the
on
bolts.
before.
Yeah, it's hard as diamonds.
The one bolt is about 7 or 8 inches
Yeah.
long.
Easy.
So they had to have put that bolt in there before they put the body on the frame. And to get that bolt out, you got to cut it. It's a 10.9 grade bolt. Like it's a really
it's
good
not,
tire.
super fun.
it hasn't been fun. Yeah, it hasn't been fun.
It's
Wow.
been fun for me because I just
It's been fun for them because they were watching me and
Yeah.
Corey do it.
we had a
Yeah,
great
it's-
We
seat.
don't. I
Yeah.
don't need to go. there.
While drinking, I'm sure.
Yeah.
No, no, drink it.
Drink?
Drink
What's
it's
that?
fine, fine.
I don't know what that means.
What are you talking about, Matson?
Excuse me. Sipping on fine libations.
Well, you know, if they don't drink, they get so dehydrated.
Yeah, we have. To
Yeah, we
keep
gotta-
up.
Right.
You got to hydrolyze.
Right. Of course, you're in Colorado, so you drink the yellow can, right?
We drink a lot of yellow stuff, or just
Yeah.
a lot of beer.
Not the yellow stuff.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yellow stuff.
Yeah, don't drink the yellow snow.
The Coors, the regular
Oh,
Coors.
of course, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
Coors.
Yellow
Make
can.
sure we're on the same page.
That's right.
I'm the one that did that. 'cause they
Not
were
Bear
afraid. It
Grylls.
was me.
I was like,
It was me.
please, somebody left them. They've been in here for a while.
I'm
so
not
they
the
can have 'em.
IPA guy. I'm sorry. I'm the Coors Budweiser guy.
He can have
So
it.
You know what? There's nothing wrong. Like real men do drink the yellow can.
well, you know what? It is what it is.
Hey,
I'm just a kid.
It's the
I'm just a
banquet.
kid.
That's what
You
I've
gotta
learned
forget
from
that.
watching Yellowstone. At least, like now, it's like it's okay to drink the yellow can.
It's okay.
Molson Coors.
Right.
Just don't let them take you to the train station.
That's right.
Yeah.
Drop you off at the train station. Well, I think we had a fun time. What do you guys think? Anything else?
sometimes-
Anything
It
else
was a good
that's
day.
important? I had like 5 things that I wanted to bring up as we were going that you reminded me of. Like, oh, I should say this. And, oh, here's a little tip for you guys. And I didn't make notes of them, so I have no idea what the
You
hell they
got
are.
nothing.
Hey,
Yeah,
that's
I
right.
got nothing.
We'll talk about it next week.
It's okay because we don't remember what we talked about an hour ago.
Or
Yeah.
12 minutes.
Yeah.
We're almost at an hour, actually. 57
We'll have
minutes.
to watch the
and 13
podcast,
seconds.
see what we talked about.
Right. It's always good to check to see. I trust me. I when I go through and actually have to produce these things and I listen to them, I'm always surprised by, oh shit, yeah, we talked about
Oh, I
that.
forgot about that.
Yeah.
Whoa, what's your language?
Hey, back
Come
off.
on, this
there.
is a kid-friendly show.
Is it?
At the end of the day, I'm just glad you got to see me.
Meek is so upset she needed one more hug. One more hug. That's
Maybe
all
two.
she wanted. Yeah,
Who?
she was so excited she got to meet Matson.
Yes. Well, on that note, it's not about me. It's about all of you. And especially it's about all of you modern
He
Jeepers.
means all of us.
Yeah,
Just us.
You mean
No.
us?
I was talking about
That's
the listeners.
narcissistic trait.
It's all the listeners.
Oh,
It's all about the
listeners.
listeners.
Yeah.
The listeners are more
Those
important than
people.
all of us. If it wasn't for listeners, we wouldn't be doing that. Well, we'd probably be doing this anyway. Hey, Gay, we got
Yeah.
25
Yay.
listens this week. Awesome. A shot for
great
every
week.
listener.
It's more people that listen that
You know,
listen to us normally. So
Honestly, we should have like done this one differently because we should have reinstituted the drinking game for this crew.
We kind of did, but
well, we
kinda
talked
don't.
about it.
Well,
We
you
talked
guys
about
were
it.
drinking, not the people.
We
No.
talked about
Yeah.
what little
We did. You just didn't know it.
what little thing was gonna like be the trigger, but
Yeah.
I didn't
You didn't
recognize
do the
any
triggers
triggers.
today.
Yeah,
No.
no triggers
They
Which is
today.
really
Yeah,
odd.
the trigger word should have been
He
10.9.
knew. He knew.
Why
The
didn't we
trigger
talk
word should have
about
been
politics?
10.9. Yeah.
You want to talk a little politics?
No, I'm out of liquor.
No. We can talk about brisket or
I'm done.
turkeys or chicken or bologna, but no politics. No politics.
Well, isn't politics
Baloney.
baloney?
It's all
The
baloney.
definition of
Exactly.
politics,
Trust me.
the
Baloney is
definition
that
of
element.
the derivation of politics is poly for multiple and ticks for bloodsucker.
That's the best you've said.
I got up this morning. and
Oh,
Phil
geez,
had a
geez,
biscuit.
thanks
I was
there,
like, "What are you
Philip."
eating?" He's like, a bologna biscuit. I was like, game on. I need one. Absolutely.
A blow me biscuit.
A bologna biscuit.
See, you
A
can't
what?
even talk.
I can't even
A
talk.
bologna biscuit.
Yes.
Matson, you should have
There's
just
a
been
ma-
here.
Smoked
smoked
bologna.
bologna biscuit.
Well, I wasn't invited, so you know.
Yes,
Oh, no,
you can.
yes, you
Oh,
were.
You're always
You
invited.
can make it today. You got this.
Hey, it's just a flight. It's just a
Just
plane
fly on
right
out.
away.
Yeah,
fly on
we'll
out.
pick you up.
Philip will
It's
pick
down
you
the
up at the
street.
airport.
I got to pick my girlfriend up anyhow. I'll just
Yeah.
get you at the same
Yeah.
time.
Yeah,
Phil will
chances
get you a
are
rental,
I'd
it's
be
not a
one of
big
those
deal.
stranded ones in Denver.
Yeah, there is that.
I lived such a sheltered life. I had no idea that a bologna came in like this big block thing, like, and then you smoked it.
This is the guy that eats hot dogs 4 times a day.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Don't
what?
know.
What is that?
No,
This is not regular bologna.
Bologna comes in a yellow package that you
It's
rip
bologna is
open
the
and you
first
throw it with a
name.
piece of cheese and mayo on 2 pieces of white bread.
Come on.
See,
Right?
that's what I always thought. That was bologna.
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 Now
That's
you
how
go
spell it.
fancy and you fry
Our
it.
brains are melting.
You go fancy, you put a little bologna on the little fryer and you fry it up, and then you added it with the cheese and the.
So Philip smoked a bologna that was like 8 inches tall, and 8 inches around.
I'm sorry. Did it taste? Did it make it taste
8
anything better than
inches.
bologna?
8 inches. That's what you said, right?
No, 8 inches. 8 inches.
Does it taste better now, or does it just taste smoked?
It was the best meat in my mouth.
It was very, very good.
Philip
Now
said
I'll
it
be
was the best
impressed.
meat in his
Now,
mouth.
one of our off-road guys around here, Jack. He was it last Christmas? He came by one day and just dropped off a bunch of smoked cheddar. Like he put
I like
cheddar
this.
and he was smoking cheese in his smoker.
Mm.
So now can you do that?
Yeah.
Doesn't it run out of the paper?
No.
No.
Dude,
Not if
it
it's
is it was amazing. That is nice thing, and you open it up and it has like that core. Oh,
Yes.
so good.
The burnt ends.
Oh yeah,
got those.
we have burnt ends waiting. Yes, not to rub it in, but
I
we
mean,
have smoked burnt ends
we got hot.
waiting for
You
dinner.
know,
got
there's
heartburn
such
waiting
thing
for
as overnight and dry ice.
It's okay.
Oh, okay. You're not gonna offer up. Okay,
It's
fine,
easier just to
fine.
fly out. Trust me. Look, you can ride with me.
I have,
Yeah.
I have left the
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah, you can ride with me. I'm by
That's
myself.
why.
I'll
That's
sit- you
why I
can be my
said
coat
maybe
off.
I'll bring if I can bring Jack
Bring him.
to any event.
Absolutely.
I'll be allowed to go.
Oh, you were talking about your son.
Yeah, you can be my co-dog.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah,
wrong.
yeah,
you
yeah,
were
my
talking
son
about.
Jack.
He said
yeah,
he was
not,
going to bring Jack to the event.
Oh, I thought
not,
you meant
not Jack,
Bobby
not
or
Big Jack Traver.
Jack
Yeah,
Daniels.
that too.
Yeah.
No, but I can't.
After all that Tennessee adventure, I mean, that's what I thought.
You know, I love it out there, but no, unfortunately, I don't. I don't get to. I don't partake.
Sure, I got an empty seat. I have an available seat. I'm by myself.
Love all you guys. Thank you all. And thank you to all of our attendees and listeners. We appreciate you. Love you all for listening and putting up with all our fun stuff. This has been a great episode of the Modern Jeeper Show. You know how to reach us. Matson at MetalCloak.com, Corey at MetalCloak.com, Jessy at MetalCloak.com, ModernJeeperAdventures.com for all your adventure needs. Go over there, register Death Valley fall trip. It is amazing in the fall. So I've heard. Wait, who's signing on from Flankin, New York?
What is that?
Franklin?
Somebody's
Franklin,
signing
New
on
York.
from Franklin,
Franklin,
New
New
York.
All right.
New York.
All right. It's a party now.
It's a party now.
Yeah.
Oh,
We're
there's
getting
so
all
much
kinds of
reverb.
feedback. That's weird.
Let's say goodbye to that guy.
I muted him. That's weird.
Yeah.
Huh.
Don't forget to
We
check
have
out the forum.
hackers on our damn
Somebody
podcast
logged into our
now?
podcast.
You know what?
Oh, he got
Yeah.
it.
So I just logged that out, but it'll be, by the way, to our editor, leave that up there. Because I just
Yeah.
rejected
Yeah.
it.
So we've never had anybody hack into our podcast.
Right.
Huh.
Especially
We
when I
would've
was in the
invited
middle
them
of
if they
saying
would have.
all the fun thing at the end. So yeah, check us out, ModernJeeperAdventures.com, ModernJeeper4.com, and ModernJeeper.com for all of your modern Jeeping news. Anything else you'd like to join Mr. Modern Jeeper before we head out?
I think we're good, buddy.
We're
All
driving
right.
him
Well,
crazy.
thank you.
Glad you got to
Thank
see
you very
me.
much. Big shout out to our sponsors and friends and Corey, who's hanging out with the Milestar hat.
That's right.
And Curtis had on Corey's hat.
What?
Yes.
Curtis had on the yellow hat.
How did
You
that happen?
notice?
This is all wrong.
Well,
This
It
is
was all-
so
it was all
backwards.
It is.
This is Virginia backwards stuff.
Damn rednecks.
It's like I'm from Arkansas.
We'll see you on the other side. See you on the trails.
Cheers.
See ya.
Bye.